Alright guys, I'm going to try and film my car driving. I've not done this before. Finally got it to a point where it's working, so I'll switch off. You can see. That's the antenna. I've left the lights on. Fans on. Alright? So that's the antenna going up.
This is the sound of a weekend. Snap, Alexander O'Neill and...
Right, I'll turn that down. Let's get going. Oh, it's busy tonight. I'll just try and do this. A little bit of town driving, a bit of motorway. Cops are about. It's raining a little bit, that's a good test. Cassette plays. Okay, so that plays. Put the fan on a bit more. Right. Okay. No indicators. Nice, huh? Now when this car is in drive, the Mercedes design is that when you on your brakes alone, which is how you're supposed to, the engine goes to super low idle, like there, and you can see it's quiet. So let's turn the pan down. I'm going to give it a bit of welly, right? terrific. My junction's closed, so that's good for us to test the car, but I want to get home. Never mind. Someone wants to put a reading lamp on the back. That's the back. Yeah. Of course the sunroof works. But we're not going to turn that on now because it's raining. So the nice thing about this car is you can have a nice normal conversation inside it. And it's quiet, which is amazing. You know, considering it's 40 years old, it's done well to maintain its integrity and its condition, considering it was badly neglected before I got it, and it's taken me years to restore it back to, you know, very nice, comfortable condition where at least everything works, and it's very efficient. If you drive properly, this car can give you 24 miles to the gallon. For a 5-litre engine, that's quite something. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's thirsty if you put your foot down. It's going to use everything that's given to it. But it's a very nice, comfortable drive. It's a mile-munching motorway car. It's an absolute cruiser. It's a real GT cruiser. Now, it says my junction's closed here, but I'm going to give it a chance anyway. Because so far, so good. Oh, I never get these lights green. That's amazing. I just need to be a bit more discreet here. Oh, there's nothing wrong with my junction, so I don't know what that sign was about, but never mind. So as you can see, this car is super smooth, loads of torque, does everything it was designed to do, behaves itself really well. You've got to just look after these things. They just want to be looked after, cared for. They're not high maintenance. They just don't want to be neglected. They want to be driven often, and they want to get hot. That's when this car does really well. It's when it's hot and it's cycled and it goes regular, then it's fine. I do not want to get rid of this car. It is a lovely car, and I'm at the cusp of it now where keeping this thing is just it just makes economical sense. You know, I can get 350 miles out of this tank, and maybe even more. I've never actually driven it where I've needed to use its full range, but I've gone past that value, and that's with lots of working on the car, testing and fixing. So standing idling, you know, shows you. Anyway, this I hope provides a really good demonstration of what this car is like to drive. This Mercedes S-Class SEC Coupe. It's the first generation Euro spec. It's lovely to drive. It's so comfortable, and I wouldn't call it a lounge car. It's not like a Cadillac or a Chrysler Imperial or something like that. It's still a stiff-framed, almost performance kind of like suspension. It can take the corners much better than my BMW does, actually, which is quite something. And being my BMW is much younger than this one, but it does, want love. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me. See you later, guys. Thanks for coming along. I'll try and do a trip in the daytime. It's always nice to do that. Listen to the exchange. I'll do some more pulling away and gearing down, and we can hear the transmission and the engine. The nice thing about Mercedes-Benzes are that they've got an incredibly tight turning circle. It makes for really good maneuvering in tight, cramped, congested little urban spaces. So, this thing turns on a dime, considering it's 5 meters long. It's actually incredible how you can swing it around. Yeah, it's very good for that. What's killed the suspension on this car is my numerous speed bumps that I've been driving up and down over the last 8 years of ownership. So, I have used this car regular. It's not stood since I've had it. I've absolutely used it, but mostly for commuting, not really for like a nice road trip. And I really want to do that, I want to take it on a nice road trip somewhere to Germany, Poland. The guys there love these cars and they collect them. And, to be honest with you, I think I should take it there and see what it valued that side of the other across the pond. Over here, I don't know. There's only about 60 of these things left on the road. So they're becoming incredibly rare. I don't ever see them. Not at coupes like this one. And I travel countrywide. So, yeah, very rare car and beautiful car. It's got lovely lines. It's very low and sleek. Much like a Jaguar's design, the old Jaguars, low, sleek, thin cars, narrow cars with very good drag coefficients, It's It's super aerodynamic, this car. I mean, you can hear it. There's no noise when it's driving. There's no buffeting. There's no turbulence. It's almost like a wing. It's just so super smooth. You should try my Land Rover and see how that feels. I've got a lot of cars, and if I drive my Volvo, it's very noisy, but it's smooth to drive. But you can't have a nice low-level conversation in the Volvo like in this car. Absolutely not. The fan is extremely noisy, and other things as well. But this is super nice. But yeah, don't get me wrong. It's old. You know, it's not like a new Mercedes would be. Obviously not. There's a lot of rubber underneath here, and everything works on pneumatics, and it's you know, just don't last as long as you'd think. Look, now the car itself drives and goes forever. You know, you can neglect them, and the damn thing just keeps going. That I can definitely vouch for. But if you want the car in a good condition, that's lovely to drive and it's wonderful, then you've got to look after it. And it don't need a lot of maintenance. It just needs to be used. Guys, thanks for joining me on this little adventure. I hope you enjoyed the trip with me. It was about 17 minutes of good driving. But as you can see, steady, quiet, super smooth. Nice, good temperature range. It's hardly used any fuel. The oil pressure is fantastic. I mean, the fan works, recirculation, aircon, heating. You show me an old Merc that's radio is still working and cassette still working. So guys, thank you. I'm gonna sign off now, and I hope you enjoyed this experience and learned something about Mercedes-Benz. Take care. Bye bye.